just interested in kind of the I've never actually done an outdoor show before, so cool. This is like, I feel like that level of kind of putting this play amongst people as opposed to having a clear dividing line is bad.
Right.
This was kind of like my introduction to the archetype of Shakespearean comedy and some of the characters.
Yeah.
You know, and I just was like, wow, this is one of the first Shakespeares I understood, but it also reminds me so much of what little I understood of the other experiences I've had, and has kind of put a context around that. So I'm kind of excited that the DSM's taking this on too, because it's so, like you've been saying, it's so much more accessible.
Right.
I prefer the upbeat and the comedy, and I kind of love, like, just the funniness of the young love and how quickly it goes back and forth. And I don't know what love is. So just kidding. I know everything. And then I love her. I love this other girl. And I also love the mistaken identities and the fact that, you know, Julia can play a boy and nobody knows. Like, it's just those typical Shakespeare things that I get excited about. So I'm excited about it. Yeah, you mentioned 20s. I don't know if that's still a thing, but
it is still a thing.
We'll get there.
Talk a little bit more about that.
Talk about it.
I'm trying to get on more about it, and then I had a conversation with my husband in the kitchen. He was like, "What's wrong? Like, why not do it in the 20s? I think that's great. I think it would be really fun." I was like, "Well, I don't know." And I said everything I just said to you guys. He's like, "Well, how did you land at the 20s in the first place?" And I started, I was like, well, there's the 20s for me. First, there is something about the 20s that I love. I love that era. But there's also something wonderful about the 20s that I'm talking about is that time in our history when we had just come out of the war and everybody was like, going crazy. Like, doing anything they wanted to do. I mean, the jazz and then the dance, and even, you know, just all of that sort of release that happened in the 20s, I think connects back to what I was talking about before with these boys and just wanting to go off and experience life, you know. At least that's how it seems to me, that people were just like, let's just do it. Let's just go and, like, live. Let's live fully and not care what happens next and not have to worry about it, because finally we're in a place that we can